Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show. Not so much the fun facts, but hopefully useful facts this morning as we continue with our Kristin Aftermath broadcasts this morning. And for the foreseeable future, of course, 8 o'clock every morning. We'll do weekends as well, whilst there's the possibility of connecting, supporting and helping people here. Let me make the screen a little bit more jolly. And talking of making things jolly, how about you join us this evening? We're going to be going ahead with the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. More of the same, really. Checking in and connecting with each other. Have a little bit of a drink this evening if it's appropriate to do so. If you're not still fixing things up and absolutely inundated with what's going on, if you manage to carve yourself a little bit of safety and calm, why not join us for a drink tonight and connect? It's very important to, I think, connect with other people when the time is right, and have a little bit of rest and recuperation. So that's a possibility tonight at 8 o'clock here on this network or this platform, or this particular corner niche of this platform of YouTube, also on Facebook and X as well. Do let me know how you're doing this morning. My headphones are very loud. Hope everything's coming out okay at your end. Let me know. The no intro, the stream started mid-sentence. How odd. Don't drink that. You don't have to drink. You're very welcome to join us anyway, nonetheless. Morning to you, T-Duck. And Matty, I don't know about you. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm finding this situation. And I'm, we got off very lightly, I have to say, preface that. But the whole sort of staying vigilant, I think, is very wearing for everybody concerned, and can only imagine what it's like if you've got actual damage as well, and you're trying to contend with that as well. Here where we are on the Silver Coast, Leria, one of the state of calamity hotspots, if you like, in Leria. It did rain all night. I think I've got some images here that show you pretty much to sum it up, but we'll go into more depth with the weather situation and some of the news reporting. State of calamity has been extended, but this is pretty much it. Muita chuva, muito vento, basically. That's how it's been. And I know there have been some minor outages here where we are, because the studio lights just turn themselves on mysteriously when there's a little bit of a drop and then a surge back on again. They're very sensitive like that. So we did lose power, but only briefly in the night whilst we were asleep. This was the message that went out from the civil protection. Persistent rain in the coming days, chuva persistente nos próximos dias, risco de cheias, inundações, evite circular próximo de rios, reter banhos de zonas inundáveis. So persistent rain in the coming days, risk of floods, inundations, avoid driving, circulating near rivers, remove belongings from flood-prone areas. The number for civic protection is 800-246-246, and you can find out more at prociv.gov.pt as well with that. And this is what the barragens, the reservoirs, look like. We must be at capacity by now. I know they are letting water, and that risk of the idea of evacuation or evacuating some parts of Coimbra, I think is due to the dam there being overflowing, and they're having a controlled letting or controlled release of the reservoirs, as I think is going on in other parts of the country. But we've got 100% soil moisture. We're basically waterlogged, and more rain continues to come. So we'll have a look at that weather forecast to see what's in store there as well in the coming days. And we'll come back to some bit of memery. I think we're doing a bit of light relief as well. Got a message. When's the wine tasting and karaoke happening? I said, do you need some light relief? I said, no, we need some heavy relief. Nothing planned at the moment, but we do. Yeah, first sort of virtual get together tonight for the wine club at 8 o'clock. Join us here on the Good Morning Portugal YouTube channel or our other usual outlets. Where you'll see our output. Morning, Matty. Bom dia, alegria. Todos e feliz segunda-feira. How you doing, Matty? What we're doing here, continuing to support people. If anyone needs help, let us know. Haven't heard from Mama Bear. Has anyone been in touch with Mama Bear? She may have been quite stricken and cut off in central Portugal. I'll check in with her personally, but she just came to mind this morning. Community check-in, of course, that's what we're doing. Weather outlook and preparedness. And there's been a lot of talk at the Portugal Club behind the scenes about preparation and kit. So a little bit to say about that as well. Chris, back in the UK, I'm guessing. Hola, bon dia. So here we are again, back on the train after being off work for a week. Sick with the norovirus. The train is wet and miserable. Not clock watching. Got jobs to do. Get home. Norovirus. How, Pete? How, Chris? Morning to you, Jackie. Bon dia, Carl, and Gumpers. Bon dia, Alegre Gumpers from T-Duck as well. Good news. I didn't see my shadow this morning. I'm not quite sure what you meant. Isn't it good to see your shadow? That means the sun's out. I'm not sure what you mean there, T-Duck. The sun has been on vacation for a while. Yeah, where is the sun at the moment? There have been some little bit brief periods of blessed sunshine. You know, the sun, when the sun comes out in Portugal and the inside of your car gets very warm. And even when the sun's gone back in, you get in your car, if you've left it out on the pavement, that is, not the pavement. Although, you know, it is a parking option. When you've left your car outside and it's lovely and warm inside, just get in and sit there for a minute like a greenhouse. All rain is no cigar. Oh, okay. Bon dia to you, Sarah, as well. Thank you for the continued NIF information as well over at the Portugal Club. Sorry, NIS information. NIF, NIS, SNS, all these abbreviations. We were going so well, weren't we, with the information to do with the essentials in Portugal. The essential at the moment in Portugal is to stay safe, repair and recover, really, at the moment, and then we'll get back to those in due course. Thoughts and prayers to all affected by the awful storm. Absolutely, it continues. The effect is being felt and continuing. Jackie, state of calamity continues. Go to that in just a minute after we've said a few hellos to each other. Gary Mills, bon dia. Good morning, Gary. How you doing, mate? You will definitely get a stronger stream if you drink later. Thank you. Good morning, Peter. Good morning. You guys okay? Storm number 3. How'd you all fare? Last night was in this part of the world. Was a baby by comparison. It was just rain, it felt like, and a bit of wind, which is just, I was thinking yesterday as I was dragging a clothes dryer in from another spattering of rain. It's like, when was I fed up with this weather? Oh, in December. I mean, you know, this is going on and on. It really is. I was fed up with it long ago, and so the rainstorms are just normal. It's the intensity that clearly varied to become one of the worst storms in people's living memory here with Kristin last Wednesday. And when I spoke to Natasha Don, I didn't even know what day it had happened. You know, we are at 6s and 7s, and not in a good way, as the kids say now. 6, 7, 6, 7. Blimmin' 6s and 7s, chaos, state of calamity continues here in Portugal. Bom dia todos e feliz segunda. Thoughts with all affected by the storm. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you for your kind contribution, Ian. Saw that on the GoFundMe for San Martino de Porto. Thanks very much, mate. Much appreciated. The barrages at the moment do look like the first 10 minutes of a 70s disaster movie. Sandbags used to cover the cracks in the dam. Yes. Well, you've got to do something. Bon dia, Malta. A dry start. Well, excellent. Rain expected later. It's known to be pretty windy in Aveiro, so maybe a bit more resilient. Not hearing of much damage locally. Oh, well done there. I have land in Central, putting up for sale. Can't get work done on it because of rain. Yeah, everyone in the building industry, I think, is out and about helping people or has been contracted in a state of calamity. You get the government are able to commandeer and commission you to work. It's going to be a while, I think, before there's any sense of normality returning. In respect to that, Gina. My shadow. Okay, it's ground. Yes, you know, Punxsutawney Phil. Is that how you say it? It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. Bill Murray and all that. Yes, it is definitely Groundhog, isn't it? Feeling your pain from last week. We have no power in the Arganil region. Really? There are still, over 100,000 homes without power at the moment, I believe. Now you're one of them, Neil. Have you got everything you need, though, to cope with that? Saw a video of the damage in Leria yesterday, some of it really bad, says Ian. Hope it's not so bad where you are. It is, but I mean, it's not bad in San Martin de Porto. It is bad for some people in particular, shop fronts and so on. The scale of it is not like we've seen in Leria and other videos. And this is not going to be a place I'll bring the green screen back. It just, when I was first doing these sort of, I don't know, not emergency broadcasts exactly, but just updates, it seemed more appropriate to have a sober background, but we'll bring that back, bring the beat back. Slowly but surely, absolutely, T-Duck. Cordelia, good morning to you. Having my tea with you. Thank you. Good bon dia to you. Yeah, I'm not going to be showing loads of videos of destruction. They're everywhere, aren't they, on social media at the moment? I don't think we need to add to that at the moment, but suffice to say, yeah, in Leria, Coimbra, wherever, lots of places. And if you watch the news here, people's roofs blown off, and a lot more work being done to get tarpaulins on people's roofs. News agenda moves on, of course, and it's that's jam packed with attention grabbing, all-time apex of attention grabbing, consciousness terror going on. What chance does the Portugal storm have a few days or weeks later? Just going to have to take care of it on a local level here, I suspect, as time passes. Thankfully, my temporary repairs held up in the strong winds overnight and still now. Noisy, lots of wind in the house, but keeping warm in the bedroom. All good. Thanks for that update, Mel. Good to hear that. And yeah, we've got a new normal, haven't we? Another new normal, everybody. Rain and wind. Prayers for everyone all over Portugal and Spain. Thank you, Gina. I don't even know what's going on in Spain. Leria took the worst of it. Our train station cafe in Castilla Branca was covered from 1926, and now it's open air. My goodness. Just having a sip of tea there. Forgive me. Bon dia, Portugal. It's the little basics. When you get a power cut and you can brew up. I mean, not that we've got a power cut today, but just realize how blessed. And on a morning like this as well, a nice cup of tea. I'm enjoying it with you as well, Cordelia. Lots of us are helping with our donations of supplies, money, or actually out cleaning up. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing to do at the moment, isn't it? If you're safe and well yourself, maybe turn your attention to the much needed donations, dry, non-perishable food, contributing to the repair funds, or giving people money directly. I know people, we've got friends who are in San Martino yesterday. I think they gave Nelson at Palmera direct contribution. I think his awning was the estimate for the replacement of his awning, 6 or 7 grand. Now I think he's going to get some help from the government on this. And that's just been announced. If you know anyone in a business who needs help from the government, they've been pretty quick to respond with schemes to help people out in the countryside as well, farmers. That's the furore. Where's the help? They've responded to that pretty well, I got to say. So there is help available, and if you want to help people connect with that, those news sources are telling you how to do that as well. I love the grid. Which one is that? The mains grid, the electricity grid, or the social grid? I wonder. Dr. Mo Cohen. Yeah, since we met, you've become a Dr. Mo. What are you doctoring? Good to see you, Mo. Lovely. The last thing I think I heard of you was as a voice on Mike's phone when I was with Mike, and you called him, and I could hear you at the other end there. How are you? Good. Thank you for tuning in. We were in Sevilla last week. It rained about half the time, but no issues like here. We took several long walks. How lovely. Friends in Spain get a storm after it passes through Portugal, presumably. Simple things like tea in times like this. Absolutely. Morning, John. John Heimbach's here, everyone. Conversation starter. Sim, esta chuva outra vez. Quando e que vai parar? Yeah, when's it going to stop? Absolutely. Electricity is my friend. Yes, electricity and water, not a good mix though. Our saffron fields really took a hammering. You're growing saffron. You want to keep that quiet. An acre of saffron, that's got to be worth millions. Peter, our friends in Spain get Portugal storms. Tea is welcomed. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking in. We'll be here in the mornings just to provide a little bit of a social network in the truest sense. Make sure everyone's okay. And anyone conspicuous by their absence, maybe a call to them if you know people who haven't shown up yet in this environment. I'm going to check in on Mama Bear after the show, for example, see how she's doing. Let's have a look then. This extension of the state of calamity. And I can see messages coming in on WhatsApp, 913-590-303. I'm available on Facebook as well. And Carl at Carl Munson on email, should you want to get in touch with me. Situation of calamity extended to February the 8th. PM warns of flooding risks, urges population to heed authorities' advice. Forgive me if I shared this yesterday. I don't think I did, but it's pretty important. The Extraordinary Council of Ministers ended early this afternoon. Okay, so I can't have read this out yesterday. This was written yesterday by Natasha. The Prime Minister announcing a raft of measures, interesting choice of words, including the extension to February the 8th of the situation of calamity, already decreed in around 60 municipalities across the country. Of course, I incorrectly said it was Leiria, or mainly Leiria. It's all over the country. And it has been extended to more municipalities as well. This means that all areas of operational coordination remain in effect, as well as the measures that streamline procedures to deal with adverse weather situations that we still face, Luis Montenegro told reporters. Looks like the presidential election is going to carry on regardless. That will be a week yesterday, the 8th, will decide whether Andre Ventura or Senor Seguro. And I say Senor Seguro because I can't remember his name. That is the power of Andre Ventura's persistent and continued appearance in the media. What is Senor Seguro's first name or full name? Reiterating the risks throughout the week, then, the Prime Minister, of flooding in low-lying areas of some districts. It's expected that with the levels of participation we can anticipate, some flooding situations will arise, adding insult to injury in the aftermath of Storm Kristin. My words, not his. We know that the soils are saturated, and we know that several infrastructures are affected, which will complicate the situation. Okay, we also know that some riverside areas will face more serious situations, which may even lead... Forgive me, with all of this coughing and pausing and hesitating, which may even lead to the need for evacuation. So the idea of evacuation is hanging in the air for some areas and some people who may be affected by continued rainfall, adding to pre-existing waterlogged situations. So there may need to be evacuation, he said, appealing to everyone to respect the guidelines of the authorities in the time and manner in order to minimize risks as much as possible, to avoid further losses, including losses of life, but also material losses that could be exacerbated by not heeding these guidelines. I think, yeah, everything counts at the moment, doesn't it? Any situation where we can avoid further damage by being a little bit more alert. Good Lord. Where I need to suck on a doctor right now, Dr. Bayard, that is. Not you, Mo. In order to, sorry, like sublime and ridiculous here. Need a little bit of light relief, don't we? Yeah, it's worth in every moment, to minimize any possible call and pressure on the emergency services. Okay. As to the measures of support emerging from the meeting, okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. The PM described an effort by the government amounting to $2.5 billion, which will be coordinated by a mission structure to be led by the... Don't worry, that's just a cat pushing things over here. Look, there's a state of calamity already. The PM began by saying the government will cats. They're causing a constant state of calamity, aren't they? Pushing stuff over. Anyway, forgive me. 2.5 billion then will be coordinated by a mission structure to be led by the former mayor of Fundão, Paulo Fernandes. You know him, Pete? The PM began by saying the government will support the reconstruction of primary and permanent housing in projects up to 10 grand without the need for documentation. I think that means without the need for prolonged bureaucracy in cases where there is no insurance coverage, he said. That is being, as I understand it, that's being dealt with by a kind of task force who will come and monitor the situation and give you up to 10 grand to repair. The same amount will be available for situations related to agriculture and forestry in exactly the same amount. According to the Prime Minister, This support for the reconstruction of houses will be accompanied by inspections from the regional coordination and development commissions and the municipal council. So you'll be inspected, and even without insurance, you might get some aid there up to 10k. The Prime Minister also announced that a meeting with the Construction Industry Association will take place in Leiria on Monday so that urgent interventions can be planned in an even more organised way. Mr. Montenegro explained that this meeting will focus on the restoration of buildings and in particular the serious situation concerning the roofs and covering of houses. And there have been further injuries with people trying to repair their own roofs, which is totally understandable, but you got to think twice. And, even before any of this, we do see how some people in Portugal really very happy to get up on the roof without any obvious safety measures. And I think that's persisting, that sort of pioneering DIY approach is persisting even in these conditions and causing further injury to some people. So please be careful and urge and help your neighbours to be careful. For the former, families in a situation of need or loss of earnings can receive help from Social Security, amounting to €537 per person or €1,075 per household. For businesses, there will be a credit line of €500 million, 6 months security social contribution exemption for companies affected in critical areas, as well as simplified layoff schemes. It's chaos, isn't it? For 3 months, a credit line of €1 billion for the recovery of business structures without insurance coverage was also announced, along with a 90-day moratorium on loans to companies and credit for the purchase of owner-occupied housing. Well done, the government, for responding so quickly. Let's hope that all of these plans are executed smoothly and rapidly as well. There is more. I will give you the link to that so that you can look at that for yourself if you find that useful or interesting. I'm seeing here the passage, just finally, the passage of Storm Kristin through the mainland on Wednesday caused at least 5 deaths, according to Civil Protection, as well as several injuries and displaced households. Marinha Grande City Council also reported a fatality, and then on Saturday, 2 further deaths were registered. This is what I was talking about. Men falling from roofs. They were repairing, one in the municipality of Batalha, the other in Alcobaça. In the early hours of this morning, a man died in the municipality of Leiria from carbon monoxide poisoning originating from a generator. So the death toll is 9 people in Portugal. And that's a point that was made by Hugh. If you're running a generator, you've got to run it where it's ventilated. If you run it in your house, you're going to poison yourself, as sadly one person did there. Fallen trees and structures, road closures and disruptions to transport services, especially railways, the closure of schools, power, water and communication outages are the main material consequences of the storm as the aftermath persists. Leiria, where it entered national territory, Coimbra and Santarém are the districts that registered the most damage. By coincidence, the extended situation of calamity comes to an end the same day as the second round of voting in the presidential elections. Andre will like that, will he not? I'm sure. I'm here, everybody. I saw an amazing AI doctored image of him as Mother Teresa and handing out water and goods from the back of a van. He looks pretty fetching with his beard as a Mother Teresa. Morning to you, Henry and Nina. Intermittent signal here at the house we were living in has been deemed the most serious by the Council of Pedrógão area. Destroyed, only walls left. Where you were, oh my goodness. Thankful to be alive. Community has been amazing. Bless you. I mean, you've only just arrived in Portugal it's all up from here, folks. Oh, seriously, if you need, we told you, if you need to come over and stay with us and get a bit of rest and recuperation. It's a madhouse, but you're very welcome to come and enjoy its warmth and comfort for a little while. Please do. Wow, Mel saying, so sorry to hear this and would be interested to hear about growing saffron as well. When the circumstances allow. That is so good to hear. The rural communities here are amazing. That's to Henry and Nina there. Roofs can be rebuilt, but you cannot. Take care. Absolutely. Good morning from Patty. Good morning to you, Patty. Is your background the bay in San Martin to put it engulfed? It might as well be, John, or is that a sky shot of your cloud cover? Look, I'll tell you what, it's disturbing, people, not having a green screen here. Oh, I'll have to unfurl it. No, I can't do that right now. Tomorrow, the return of the green screen tomorrow, I promise. Okay, and if that doesn't happen, you're very welcome to remind me. Yeah, just a reminder that tonight it's the check-in and chill out. If you're in a position to do so and you fancy a glass of wine with the GMP Wine Ninjas, come and join us. Not a particular theme. I mean, just bring your favorite booze or a cup of tea or coffee, glass of water, whatever. Pure clean water's a blessed thing right now, is it not? So bring a glass of water, check in and chill out from 8 with the Wine Club Ninjas. See you there. Yeah, morning to you, Patty. Good to see you. Let me just get that off the screen. There you are. Okay. More comments. Yeah, your background looks real like the fog in my town. If ever I need a foggy background, I'll just use my wall in this way. Good to hear you're all safe and that the community is stepping in to help there. Thanks, Matty. Met Paolo a few times. Oh, the mayor, the ex-mayor of Fundao. Just remember, fixing your roof yourself is not without danger. I think it accounts for at least 3. Absolutely. But I wasn't fixing up an aerial rod hull and emu. Emus notably can't fly, can they? That carbon monoxide poisoning is a real issue, not just generators inside, but fires. We had a 17-year-old lad die lighting an unventilated fire 3 years ago. Dear oh dear, in a neighbouring property. Yikes. Yeah, be careful with that. Let's pop over to Facebook now. Don't be concerned, anyone who gets upset about Facebook. This is useful this morning. I've got let me just turn off those alerts there and bring onto the screen Safe Communities Portugal. We need to know what's happening with the weather, do we not, right now? So Safe Communities Portugal. I'll put the link in for that. I'm sure if you type Safe Communities Portugal into Facebook search, or actually any search engine, you're going to find these guys who are pretty good when it comes to a disastrous situation, I have to say. The forecast then, you can see all these yellow warnings persist: rough seas, wind, snow, and basically periods of rain. The forecast for the country: periods of rain, heavy, sometimes heavy, gradually turning into showers from early morning, which may occasionally include hail and thunderstorms. Snowfall in the highest points of the Serra da Estrela mountain range, descending to 800 to 1,000 meters in the north and central regions throughout the day. Moderate to strong winds, a mere 25 to 45 kilometers. But I guess if you've got a tarp on your building or you're trying to do some work, that's still going to cause you trouble, isn't it? Gusts up to 90 to 100 in the early morning, apparently, especially on the coast, weakening from mid-afternoon. In the highlands, the wind will blow moderately to strong from the west to the southwest, with gusts up to 100 until early morning. Drop in temperature more significant in the maximum temperature. Rain in Lisbon, rain in Porto, and waves from the west with 2.5 to 3.5 meters, gradually changing to waves from the northwest with 5 to 6 meters. Seawater temperature 13-14 degrees centigrade. Stay away from the sea and from rivers right now, but I think you get the picture. IPMA for a more complicated weather picture, of course, ipma.pt, and that's Safe Communities Portugal and their coverage or their weather forecasting. A good place to go to find out what's going on. We're beginning to think Portugal doesn't want us. Yeah, I can understand why. Yes, we were trapped on the top floor as the roof tore off. Dorothy has nothing on us. Thanks, Carl and Compass. I can only imagine how terrifying that must have been. Bless you. And seriously, do come over if you want like a hot bath or just a change of scene. That's the other part of this, isn't it? The cabin fever, just weeks of rain and being, in your house, which is unless you're Henry and Nina, that generally speaking, the safest place to be, unless the roof's blowing off. But even that, even being safe and warm and secure in your own house for weeks on end, does it have its challenges as well? So yeah, I remember when we were first in Portugal, and I don't think it was a long prolonged rain. We just had to drive to the nearest shopping mall and hang out in a warm shopping mall. There's something I never thought I would say or do, to go to a shopping mall for relief and comfort and fun, but it's become a thing for us, certainly here in Portugal. Over to the club then, Portugal Club, and there's a few more on our thread over there where we're trying to keep everyone abreast of what's happening. We've also got this thread of off-grid kit. People really, I think, understanding the need for developing a little bit more resilience. Who's this? Wendy, good morning to you. Come and join us. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us at the Portugal Club. Let's go back to, post-Brexit Portugal. Post-Brexit Portugal with TIG. That would normally be the first Monday of the month, but everything's gone to cock. Basically, we can talk to TIG in due course, but let's assume that normal programming. That's not to say that any of our co-hosts can't ring in or join us with a report from their part of the country, but I think we're just going to be focusing on the storm aftermath, helping people connect and stay well and safe for the time being. So the update thread here, lots of information here that's been built up over the last few days. The latest, support for families and businesses worth 2.5 billion. That, as reported in Echo, and the earlier reporting of the situation of calamity, as I read out the link to that as well. Carlos, our friend Carlos Rodriguez Guerra over in Figueiro dos Vinhos, badly hit, and he's offering help over. There's a link to him there, and as of yesterday, roughly 167,000 households still without electricity, water. Marinha Grand Mayor calls for government layoff scheme. I think help is on the way there. So that thread, if you've got anything interesting or useful to add to that, please do. And we've been talking about Bluettis, Starlinks. That's a thread as well here. I think I've been helped with the purchase of a Bluetti. I'm edging closer to a solar panel and Bluetti combo. Starlink, as soon as we can get the payment processing sorted out, we'll get one of those as well. Looks like the home installation with the 40 euros a month tariff, or not tariff. It's a word whose meaning has changed in the last year. 40 a month and 20 to get it. I think it's basically a handling charge, but no cost for the kit. You can get on board for 20 euros payment, and then either 29 or 40 ongoing for Starlink. And with generators, there's a link to a generator that looks pretty useful at about 400 euros. This is the generator I just bought. I've not tested it yet, but the reasons I bought this, under 25 kilos, so it can be carried. And it's still high in kilowatt output, much cheaper than the same kilowattage. This is the way things are going, isn't it? I mean, they're making more of these. There's an economy of scale now coming, where this was, for many people, unimaginable to own a generator or a battery backup system or an off-grid kit. Becoming quite affordable now, or more affordable, I should say. Inverter included in this one, reasonable size petrol reservoir. If I had an ultimate pick, I would get one with push-button start, hard to find and expensive because manual pull starts are hard to do. For shorter, older, less strong women, we just don't have a good wingspan, says that contributor there. So lots of info, or the beginnings anyway, of info on what to choose for your backup there. Any water safety people out there, can you help with this? My sister-in-law hosts a radio show and podcast focused on water safety in Kauai, Hawaii. She's looking for someone in Portugal to interview. I'm thinking Milan for this. Anyone know anyone she can interview in Nazaré or Peniche, lifeguards, surfers, competition organisers, anyone involved in water safety? Is that for surfing in it or for drinking it? Could be either, couldn't it there? Antonio carrying on behind the scenes, updating the threads on criminal activity, Portuguese sayings of the day, nearly 700 now, nearly 700 comments there on that thread. Music festivals he's been adding to. Cheers, mate. Much appreciated. You're the best, Antonio F. And yes, talking of criminal activity, obviously there is some desperation and there is some skullduggery going on as well. I have had a couple of reports of some scams that are in operation, and I've yet to translate this, although I think Colin sent this to me. Yeah, for your information, here we go. Please be aware there's a group of people going door to door pretending to be Ministry of Internal Affairs employees. They have ministry letterheaded documents and papers and claim they need to check if everyone has a valid identification document for upcoming census and then steal it. Well, they need their asses kicking, don't they? Doing that at this time in this country's struggle. They are everywhere and look smart. Someone will come to your house and say they want to take your photo fingerprint. Tell them to blow it out of their backside right now. Okay, this is neither the time nor the place. According to a scheme, they have a laptop, biometric device, and a list with everyone's names. They show the list and ask for all this information. Know that there is no government initiative. I mean, yeah, if you compare and contrast to trying to get an IMA appointment and then suddenly it's door to door, no. Please understand that all of this is fake. Do not give them any information. Everyone should be alert and vigilant. Send this to groups in your community. This might be a fake in its own right. People are sometimes very stupid, aren't they? And unkind and evil, as we're seeing. This might not even be true. This might be just a fabricated thing that is now doing the rounds. But should someone turn up at your door looking official, wanting to do biometrics, tell them to, well, maybe keep it polite, but not right now. Come back or send me a message. Write to me. You seem to know my address. Write to me, and I will come and do this in an official government office. My God, please inform your family and friends. True information. When it says true information, it makes me wonder. I don't know if that's actually happened to anybody or not, but if it does, I think that's the right approach. Tell them to write to you, and you are not complying with that. Thanks for that message, Henry, as well. Yeah, that's a good call. A good call there. Totally understand that. That was perhaps a silly request. Well, the offer's there. Should it be safe to do so? Basically, let's put it like that. Wow. Okay. Take care. Every chance to get out and get some air. Take every chance to get out and get some air. We have serious problems. Yeah, of course. And you've got to balance that with safety. We have serious problems with boaters on the canal with genuine cabin fever, and it's tough. Love to all. Yeah, get the balance right there. A walk in the neighborhood when it's safe to do so, at least. That must have been terrifying. Not sure where you are. My nerves are shot with far less. Yeah, and that's a thing at the moment as well, isn't it? The cabin fever, the constant state of alert is exhausting. I just feel it in my shoulders. I really do. It is exhausting at the moment. Carl, I don't think one Bluetti will run your system. You need a bit more than one panel. Take amperage usage into serious consideration. Thank you for that. And yes, Marty, good morning to you, Marty. Can you help Cindy Vine? Please. She is being denied her residency and needs a miracle. She was on your show years ago. She was, and she's welcome to come back. Could you, Marty, can you, if Cindy's got time, I know she's very busy, obviously, with what's going on, but if she wants to come on and tell us update us with what's going on and let us know how we can help. If you've seen her videos, it is a terrible situation. It is a real a clangor that the government's dropped. It's not the way to treat people. It really isn't. There must be a better way of managing immigration than how Cindy's been treated. There is a link there. I don't know if that's going to work for you, but if you search for Cindy Vine on YouTube, if you want to find out what's going on with her, you can do that. And please, yeah, Marty, let Cindy know if we can help with her coming here and telling her what's going on. Please do so. Marty, thank you for being here this morning. The request for water safety persons for my sister-in-law's radio show was for swimming and surfing. Okay. Donada, Marty, do let her know and send her our love. People know Cindy personally from this community. I think Pete and Matty, and certainly being over in that part of the world, it is tragic what's happened with Cindy. It really, as I say, it's really no way to treat people. It's if the system was working, it was known to work well. You could understand this sudden way that people are being threatened and or given notice. But I think the government or that department of it could be a little, in the way that it's messed people around for months and years now. It doesn't seem right that it can suddenly issue people with sudden efficiency. It's sudden efficiency when it's being dealt out, but it's not sudden efficiency when you're trying to get something done with IMA. There's a terrible imbalance there. Anouk, good morning to you. Nice to see you here this morning. Hope you're safe and well. Cindy's latest video says she's selling up regardless. That's what's happened. Right. It is so sad. Has an appeal with lawyer, but not taking the risk and selling. So sad. Hope she can find a solution. So she might find out she can stay, but she's been caused a massive amount of anxiety and stress and sold up her farm in anticipation of what it sounds like a mistake. She's not the only one. I've heard of other people being sent letters. You've got 20 days to go. Unbelievable. I'm being circled by cats here now. This is an ominous situation. It really is. Just gonna have another sip of tea as well. And could somebody in the house shake a cat food tin? I'm being circled up here. Let's move on. Probably conclude now. I think yeah. The cat situation is looking perilous. A cat related state of calamity developing in the studio now. Go away. Oh my goodness. Right. Okay. It's the fellow who got run over. He's recovering well, by the way. I don't know if you heard about that a few months ago. One of them got run over, but he's okay now. Oh my goodness. Bring the kitty on screen. Come on then. Come here. Yeah, you're better off on me and my lap, I think, than wandering about in the studio here, shaking the camera. Can you see that? Wandering about on the desk that the camera is on. This might get cut short anyway. Couple of bits of memery, a little bit of cheer, a good cheer this morning. Look at this. You can always tell when Americans have never been to Europe because they don't know about two. The lesser known two, you can see it on the back of a €2 coin. A bit more geography for you. Oh, for goodness sake. Look, will you behave yourself? Come on. Yes, have you been to two? If you need the map, it's on the back of the €2 coin. And has this happened to you recently? Word of the day, thank you from QI. Bilingual, forgetting words in both of your languages. It does happen, doesn't it? As you struggle to remember the one in your new language, the one in your current language goes out of your mind as well. Just sharing that with you. And another reminder then tonight, if you want a bit of company, albeit virtual, and let your hair down a bit, we'll chat, we'll connect. You can rant and let off steam as well. A bit of a wine-based support group. What could possibly go wrong? So perhaps join us for that at 8. No particular theme on the wine, except bring something that you enjoy, your go-to perhaps, if you're struggling a little bit, as many people are, quite understandably at the moment. If it's safe and appropriate to do so, come and join us for a drink this evening at 8. It will be on this channel, as well as Facebook and X as well. Stay in touch in the meantime over at the Portugal Club as well. There are threads there on the preparedness stuff, and everyone's a prepper now, are they not? And the thread for the aftermath of Storm Kristin, useful information there, especially to do with the weather and how the government's responding as well. I think the cat danger has passed. We had Cindy over for Christmas dinner. Her situation is complex, and seeing her family for her daughter's wedding last year has certainly influenced her decision. There's always more of a backstory, isn't there, when you start to have a look? But certainly, I don't think it's a great way that she has been treated there. And Marty, do let her know she's very welcome to come and join us. A British friend of mine was denied residency renewal after many months. However, he just reapplied and was approved in short order. That, yes, be Portuguese about it. That's a bit of advice that came up years ago, wasn't it? Now, if you're Portuguese and you get a stiff government letter, I don't think it affects you in the same way necessarily as it does a foreigner. These letters are so curt and unpleasant. It just feels like your whole life might be collapsing. I think that's really a really good reminder there, John, of like, don't panic. Get the letter to a lawyer or just appeal and reapply and play the bureaucratic game. Okay. I think in many ways these things aren't as serious as they might seem if you've only got your previous kind of point of reference, from your own country's way of dealing with illegal immigrants. Yeah, which is particularly topical at the moment. We don't have some of the methods in Portugal that we're seeing on TV screens at the moment. And this sort of saber rattling, bureaucratic saber rattling or paper based saber rattling, I think can be dealt with by getting some help, getting some professional help, but certainly just pushing back with Ima, and, you know, staying in touch. That's really important. You know, there must be some mistake here. I need to speak to someone. I would like an appeal on that basis. It is the way of things here that bureaucrats send out. I mean, formal Portuguese is terrifying anyway. What even bank statements look like there are some sort of threat of violence, don't they? The way that it's written and how you get called Your Excellency in that kind of bureaucratic, sarcastic way. So just push back and appeal and get some professional help. So random. That's what makes, yes, and it's random. It just suddenly comes out of the blue, doesn't it? What with that and everything else, we just don't need that right now. So push back, self-care, boundaries. It's that time, is it not? I think his second application just landed on a different desk and sailed through. That is what can happen. Take comfort in that, friends. It's random and it's arbitrary and it's unkind and it's unpleasant, and before you know it, it's behind you until the next time. But you know, it's like, okay, it was just some awful bureaucracy, nothing more than that. Didn't need to take it personally. Good morning, Carl from Denise. Lovely to see you, Denise. How are you doing? How are you over in your part of Portugal? A teaser video sent. Owen Martin. Owen, I remember this guy. Yes. Morning, Owen. Where you been? Does anyone know what the loud blast near Tondela were this morning? Lasted for 10 minutes. Is it a Saints Day? I wonder. Is it geo engineering? I've no idea, Neil. What might that be? Tondela, Visio. I know in Tamar there were some flashes. You know, people going onto social media. Does anyone know what the flashes are? In this case, does anyone know what the blasts are near Tondela? If anyone knows, Hugh might know over that way in Tondela. Good morning to you, Neil. By the way, good to have you here. Your passport has big influence. South Africa is one of the worst. Oh, okay. So there's a South African passport thing as well going on, is there, for Cindy? Dear, oh dear. Well, do let her know. She's very welcome to come here and explain what's gone on and let us know how we might be able to help, if at all. She might have jacked it in. She might have thrown a towel in and thought, sod this for a game of soldiers, I think the old-fashioned phrase is. Wow. No kitties on screen this morning. Do you remember those halcyon days of, what did we call them? Pups and pussies or something, where people used to share pictures of their pets? We might need that sort of comfort and pleasantry. 913-590-303. Pooches and pussies. That was it, wasn't it? We had a pooch and pussy feature where you could share pictures of your furry family members. A furry family member. Who doesn't like a furry family member? That's quite the cul-de-sac I've backed myself into there. I think we'll leave it there this morning, and we'll be back again tomorrow at a update from Denise. Very grateful that my home has not been damaged with the rain. Prayers for those that have. Thank you, Denise, for that. I'm glad to hear you're safe and well there in central Portugal, I believe. Mrs. Slocum. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Was there much? Was it like a Bond movie with you and Colin on the slopes, or was it more like Carry On skiing? Oh, matron. I wonder. It must have been hilarious. And are you coming over for the rugby this weekend? Probably not the best time to visit Portugal. I think there's a big rugby gathering in Caldas. It's an important rugby weekend, is it not, for Portugal this coming weekend? Saturday rugby, Sunday a different scrum, a political scrum. Play Owen's video. Okay, let's find Owen's video as a way of doing an ad for Owen this morning. It's a teaser, though. Don't get too excited. It's a teaser. Hold on a minute. I'm playing it to myself at the back here. Let me download it. See, he is incorrigible, is Colin. Right. Let's play Owen's video by way of an advert. But basically, come on, Owen, tell us more, flipping heck, instead of teasing us. Our nerves are shredded already without any more teasing. Let me see. I'm struggling to download this. Here we go. All right. Looks like this might be something to do with a little bit of hospitality here, and a safe place, safe space, where there might be food involved, knowing Owen as we do. So that's loading up, and that will be our outro video this morning. Unless there are any more things to say, we will leave it there. Yeah, he is incorrigible. He's incorrigible. We need cheering up. And Mrs. Slocum, I thought, yes, two great women, Miss Funny Fanny from Bond and Mrs. Slocum from Are You Being Served? Are you free, Mr. Mr. Ross Jones? It's good news. Fantastic. Excellent stuff. Different gig. same period, different different television screen. Thanks everybody. Thank you for being here. Check in again tomorrow. Stay well, stay safe. Join us for a glass of wine tonight at 8, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning as well. Let's leave it there.